Hi, everybody, and welcome to Cope with Hope. Today, I have the gorgeous, multifaceted, multi talented Aarti Surendranath, who's agreed to chat with me about her journey. She was picked up at 15 after an all India search for the Sunsilk girl, and at 15 years old, she started her wonderful journey into the glamour world. She went on to do the garden ad, for which she was known for her beautiful bindis and carefree. All of us remember every young girl wanted that same polka dotted outfit that she wore in the ad. Most of the styling was her own. And now let me ask her to talk to you about her wonderful journey and about the many, many things she's done with her creative talent. So, Aarti, where would you like to start?
I would like to start with thanking you first for having me here. I don't even know if you understand what it means because you have known me my whole life.
Yes.
I've looked up to you and like literally worshipped you and the ground you walked on, and it's just been so amazing. And in retrospect, looking back, you never know that there's a day like this when you'll be questioning me. Thank you for having me here. And yes, there was a nationwide search to find the Sunsilk girl. And my neighbor was a photographer. He sent in my pictures to an agency, and I got selected. And that was it. Till today, I get asked by people if my hair is actually lemon, what did they do to make it look like? It was just I never even blow dried my hair before that, and that was it. In the sequence of events from questions you've asked me is yes, then came on to the StayFree napkin sanitary towel campaign, which initially in those days was something all girls were very hesitant to do.
Yes.
And it was just like a stigma thing, and everyone was really concerned. So to me, I guess because I was a little younger, I have you have a chip on your block on your shoulder when you're that age, and you think you're invincible and everything's fine. I actually thought that this is such a natural phenomenon. Why should anyone be like awkward, nervous, worried, or about it? What's the harm? Yeah. So was done, and it was a very big campaign. The agency and J&J wanted to make a similar statement like I want to do, that it's nothing to be ashamed of. And we're talking about that many years back.
I know.
Today, of course, things are so different, and I think a lot of the youngsters will wonder what the hell we're talking about. But it was very different those days to go out and do something so bold and brazen.
Yes.
And yes, then came the story. And I was very young, but I was also quite headstrong in my own way.
Yes.
And I think sometimes the most agency creative and most of them would listen to me because they just felt the faith that I had in my own conviction. Because I wanted to wear a salwar kameez. I was very keen. I was very keen to have a salwar kameez because I just felt that that is the Indian woman. And I might add that those days salwar kameez wasn't so in or the fashionable thing. It was there were other kind of clothes that Indian women were wearing, and I wanted to wear that. And I wanted it to be white, but when it was completely white, it didn't look very interesting. So I actually rushed to my mother's closet, picked out the salwar which was dotted and the dupatta which was dotted in black and white, because we had the kurta made in my side, and I've actually worn that and rushed to the shoot because pure white was looking a little different. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how successful that outfit was.
Yes.
And we'd go to, if you remember, we'd go to small towns for shows, and we'd go all over in trains and get off the station. There were all those shops, and it used to startle me to see my picture and see
everywhere
the outfit in different dots.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe it, and it was very lovely. It was a really interesting part of how things transferred. It wasn't the stigma till today. I have people telling me that they remember me running and jumping on the cart from behind on the beach in the campus, and jumping off a bus. And I'm happy that it kind of, made things seem a lot more speakable and talkable. Then there was the famous garden sari ad. So I had no idea. I was shooting for something else. And it's peculiar. I was shooting for Bombay dyeing sari, which was the biggest sari campaign ever. And I finished shooting, and this photographer Sarees said, "This is the genuine truth." He said, "I'm struggling with this. It's going on, and I don't know. Something's not working out. This the lady who owns this company wants something very different, and I'm trying and trying, and I just don't know what would be different. What could be? Can we just try something with the other interesting? I was very fond of probably standing on my head instead of standing on my feet and doing things. So he showed me the sarees. I said, these are very, very interesting. I had to shoot the next day. It took a whole lot of my jewelry and stuff. And because I had done Bombay dyeing, which is also sarees, and being a classical dancer, I actually kept covering my face and just doing bindis, which I used to like to paint on myself.
Yes.
So I actually would cover everything, put a piece of jewelry, try to really cover my face as much as possible, and just shot for 25 minutes. Literally threw a sari, did something, and left. A couple of weeks later, the photographer Suresh said, calls me and says, "Do you know that 8 of your pictures are approved?" I said, "Oh, nice, great, lovely." So for garden sarees, he said, "I haven't shot for garden sarees. What is garden sarees? Do you not remember you shot?" I said, "Oh, that what we were doing." I said, "Oh, it's called garden sarees." And he said, "Yeah." So that was the first ever
Yes.
garden
And it
sari
was all the
campaign.
rage, and garden was huge.
it was a big, I got into a big soup with Bombay dyeing, and then there
Yeah.
was a case and stuff which came up, and I was 16, so they couldn't do anything. And then from there on came the clocks for all models under 18 to
Yes.
sign, to have somebody adult sign their contract.
Yes.
I was very apologetic. I said, I really tried to hide my face. The thing is, a lot of ads came out at the same time, and I don't
Yes.
know. I think maybe my hair was a little bit defining or whatever.
Yes.
They said, "We know it's you."
Yes.
So finally, it was very amicably, and the Bombay dyeing was like the 4-page spread, double spread, full pages, which was huge in those days.
Yes.
And then came garden immediately after that. So in retrospect, it was not right.
No.
It was wrong. I didn't even know consciously. I thought I was doing test shots for Suresh, and so did he. He said, "But they've got to prove they love it."
Yes.
So, and he said, "We come out 6 months after, so we're good." And eventually, I went on to do 3 more years of garden sarees, and I loved it because I had the creative liberty to do whatever I wanted. They would just give me the sarees and say, "Okay, whatever." That were my big nose ring, and just wear all my old Kashmiri, old antique jewelry, which I loved to do.
Yes.
So that association is so passionate and strong.
Yes.
And every
Precious.
time I pass a garden store, I feel it.
Yes.
That was very, 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 very precious. Even the garden clothing thing. So there was, as you can see, some really interesting things
Yes.
like that.
That's lovely. And then you went on to doing films. And there's a cult film of yours that we were talking about with a very, very famous song.
So it started with the song. Now, being young, I turned down all the big, huge Bollywood films that came my way. I was just scared. I was just terrified. And I realized, to start with, uh, I had to hide my age. I had to hide the fact that I'm 16. I used to act very, mature and touch me not, and, very, very tough. So when the film offers came, some of the biggest film offers, I just said, I'm not interested. And I kept thinking, I don't know, maybe after 2 years, I actually wanted to study. I wanted to complete my studies, and I
Yes.
wanted to write and do other kind of creative things. I said, no, I'm going to work on it later. Now, one fine day, I get a call from somebody saying that, we would really appreciate. I said, no, I'm not really keen on doing movies. And somebody said, no, no, can you just hear us out once? Absolutely fine. There was a tone and the way these people spoke, and they were the Ramsay brothers. So can we just, come and talk? And there's something so sweet and humble and down to earth and actually adorable about them. And they came and they said, will you just hear this song? We have this song, we recorded this song, which we like very much. And they played the song. It was Wo Beete Din Yaad Hai. And it was the music director, Ajit Singh. I just fell in love with the song. I said, okay, anything that has this song must be a sweet story and a sweet film. And it was, my co-star was Monish Bahl, who I'd never met, but he was dating a very dear friend of mine, also a co-model, Kinney.
Yes. He's a real gentleman, according to me. Monish is
you
just
know,
so
he is
amazing.
till today.
Yes,
We are, we are like bonded in such a beautiful way. I feel
yeah.
blessed to have friends and
He's a
friendships like
very
that.
good person.
He's not as uptight as he pretends to be.
No, he's not. He's not at all. He's very
I keep teasing him that you have projected this completely. But the reason I understood that because we are both service officers' children,
yes,
and our upbringings are Fauji or service officers' kids. So we're like kind of a little reserved. He's a Navy officer's kid. I'm an Army officer's kid. So we had that bonding too.
yes.
But trust me, that is a lifetime friendship. I can call Manish and tell him anything at any time, and I just love and cherish that. So there came Purana Mandir. Now you won't believe it. Uh, Halfway down the film, when we were shooting the film, everyone would come and tell me, like, "Are you mad? You are doing a C grade rock film? Are you crazy? It's it's the worst thing you could do." I got into depression. Both Monish and me actually got into a depression. We were like, what have we gone and done? We've like, thrown away our lives, thrown away our careers. What has happened? So much so, I never even had a screening. I never even told any of my friends in South Bombay because I was so embarrassed of what the hell, why did we do this? And now there was a lot of smoke. Doses. It was not too much special. I got very sick. I actually got tuberculosis at that time in my lungs. When the film released, I
Because
was
of the
sick.
film was full of smoke.
Those days it was Loban and kerosene mixed for all
Yes,
the smoke
yes,
in the
yes.
background. You saw the haunted house with all of
Yeah.
that.
That's
So it
incense
was
and the
way,
kerosene. Yeah.
yeah, and we were actually shooting in a real old Haveli, which had a lot of its own mustiness and stuff.
Yes.
So I don't know what happened. Then the screaming, in the climax scene, that being terrified and all of that stuff. So I actually got tuberculosis of the lungs, which in those days again was
Yes.
something you never spoke about. You just
No.
keep mum about it, something you couldn't talk about. So here Purana Mandir releases, and I'm laid up in bed, comatose. I have no idea what's going on. And the biggest films of that year, it surpassed everything. And when people would tell me when these adorable Ramsey brothers, Tulsi and Shyamji, I think that they're actually, cajoling me. I'm not well and I can't do anything. And everybody coming up to me for more work. I can't take it on. I couldn't do anything.
Yes.
I actually thought that they're just, kind of smoothing the blow for me. And it's today, the last couple of years, I'm just stunned and astounded that this film has become such a cult film.
Yes.
And it's like, random people come and we've seen it so many times. We've seen it and you have no idea. I feel like, look at them, are they like pulling my leg? Now, of course, with all the writing and stuff, I didn't get to know or understand or enjoy it at that time.
Yes.
It's today that I'm realizing what it was.
Yeah.
The Ramses went on to sign me for their other films. Even after I was married, I worked with them. So it was lovely. They're just very wonderful people, and it was really very, very wonderful people. I feel so sad that they're not here to see the phenomena that they had created
Yes.
posthumously, what it's done to